This character is called Lord Drakkon, and maybe the fans who are aware of everything about Power Rangers already know who this character is, but if you don't know him, then I'm going to explain why he has become so famous. In this video, I'm not going to go into all the deepest details of Lord Drakkon's story, for that we already have a video in the channel, but I'm just going to explain to you the most important of this ranger and everything we know so far. Lord Drakkon is a character created exclusively in the comics, and is that the universe of the comics is not the same as that of television. Although the comics have basically the same characters, and in the beginning, they had the same story of the TV series, little by little they were detached, creating a different story. If you have never read the Power Rangers comics, I invite you to read them, as they have darker stories created for an adult audience, and if you don't know where to start, there is also a video on the channel that will help you. Although in the TV series the multiverse has been explored, in the comics they have taken more advantage of this, and it all started with the story of Lord Drakkon. This character came into the life of the Rangers through a monster that could travel through the multiverse and was really a robot controlled by Lord Drakkon from his other universe. Drakkon's character is the Tommy Oliver of that universe, but in this universe, Tommy is a villain who managed to dominate everything and is the king of that place. When Tommy Oliver was freed from Rita's spell thanks to Jason, Tommy had to make the decision to stay with the Rangers or remain attached to Rita Repulsa. In the universe we obviously know that Tommy decided to join the Power Rangers and started being part of the mighty Morphin team as the Green Ranger. After losing the Green Ranger powers, Zordon along with Alpha created the White Ranger power and gave it to Tommy. From that moment on, Tommy started to be the leader of the team and became a legend, leading other teams as well. In Lord Drakkon's universe the story is different, because in that universe when Tommy was freed from Rita's spell, thanks to Jason, Tommy decided to join Rita even though he was not under her spell. According to the first comics, in which the story of the Green Ranger is better told, they tell us that after Jason freed Tommy from the spell, Tommy kept hearing Rita's voice, and this became a torment. Tommy was like that for a long time, and it was very difficult to get Rita out of his head, and that dark magic did not go away completely when Jason destroyed the sword that enchanted Tommy. It is very likely that this was the same thing that happened to Drakkon. In his mind there was still too much dark magic, and this perhaps caused him to still want to join Rita. After a great battle in which Rita and Drakkon destroyed everything, Zordon and Alpha had also created the power of the White Ranger in that universe. Because the Tommy Oliver of that universe was evil, they obviously weren't going to offer it to him, and so they offered it to Jason, the Ranger most qualified to carry this great power. If this had happened in the universe we know, then we would not have a Tommy Oliver as a White Ranger, but Jason, who was a Red Ranger and then was the White Ranger. In the other universe, when Zordon begins to hand over the White Ranger powers to Jason, Drakkon entered the command center and prevented the transfer of power from being completed. He then defeated Jason and merged the Green Ranger's powers with those of the White Ranger. This is why Lord Drakkon's clothes have white, green, and gold colors, as these are the three colors that these two suits have. From that moment is that he began to call himself Drakkon, and his power increased in an impressive way. From this moment on, Lord Drakkon started to destroy everything. He even took Rita's life, since he wanted to be the sole ruler of the universe. Rita had taught Lord Drakkon all about dark magic, so basically, Drakkon had the power of two Rangers, and at the same time he was also a sorcerer. It is for this reason that no one could defeat this super villain, and the things he was able to accomplish were beyond the powers of the gods, but we'll leave that for the end of this video. It is ironic that Drakkon took the life of the Rita Repulsa of his universe, but he wanted to help the Rita of the main universe to finish with the Rangers. This character became very famous among Power Rangers fans, but his fame spread so much that even those who have not been paying attention to the series have also seen Drakkon everywhere. Drakkon made such an impact that he has been included in video games, commercials, cosplays, and on helmets manufactured by Hasbro. This is very significant since Hasbro has not even released the Yellow Ranger, Black Ranger, and Green Ranger helmets, but they did release Lord Drakkon's helmet. So, why is this character so interesting for fans? In addition to his spectacular costume, the combination between the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, as well as appearing everywhere, the incredible thing about this character is that he almost ended all the universes and the Morphin grid. Although it is hard to believe, this character was about to destroy absolutely everything and become the most powerful being in the entire universe, including all the universes of the multiverse. His power was so great that he managed to be more powerful than the Morphin Masters, and I will not tell you more details of this story so as not to ruin the whole ending if you decide to read the comics. In the channel we also have the whole story of how he became such a powerful being in case you don't have the chance to read the comics, since this story is a little old and it is difficult to get these comics. This story is called The Shattered Grid, and the only thing I am going to tell you about this story is that Drakkon manages to break the Morphin grid. This is a bit obvious when reading the name of the series, but what does it mean? The grid is very difficult to understand, but something very particular about it is that this power extends through all multiverses and all timelines, including the past and the future. This means that within the grid you can travel to any part of time and to any universe. Drakkon managed to create a crack in the grid, and this allowed him to do many things that helped him gain his great power. Many people are confused with this whole story because in the current comics we can see that there is a Drakkon, but the Drakkon we knew was already old because in his universe several years had passed. The Drakkon we are seeing in the current comics is younger and is due to many things that have happened in history after the events of the Shattered Grid. What we can say for now is that if this villain had been in the TV series, surely all the fans would have said that he is the best villain of all time, and this would have no discussion. So, we could say that Tommy Oliver is a legend as a ranger, but he also became a legend being a villain, and it seems that this character does everything well. Many had been asking for a live-action series of this character, and the actor played Drakkon to announce the release of the Shattered Grid comic, but unfortunately, we never got to see the live-action series. Write in the comments if you would have liked to see a live-action series of Lord Drakkon, like this video, and subscribe to Shattered Grid Power Rangers.